Okay, so we definitely have to talk about how this episode was definitely pretty slow because I feel like it was just mostly trying to give us exposition on things that are going to come up in the future. But for our new character, Pansy, which is such a weird freaking name, I can't help but think of her as a mix of a kid Chichi and Bulma because she's all this techie stuff and yet she is a royalty. She is a princess, which I find it hilarious that Goku just keeps befriending people in high statuses. It is just hilarious. Not to mention a bit of how Glorio is annoyed of her because she's kind of asking too many questions, things that they don't have time for, and she's pestering, well, him mainly. And I also like that she kind of just is curious on Goku because, well, she notices the ears, which is obviously a big hint that he's out of place, but also kind of just asking how is he that strong. He says, well, training. And it kind of just like she doesn't believe it. It just she's so caught off guard. So also another fun. There's a lot of funny things in this episode. As much as it is slow, informative, and a little bit of action, even though it's so fucking one-sided, it's hilarious. One thing is Goku being asked, "What kind of magic can you do?" and him being like, I can touch my nose with my tongue." I'm like, Goku, that's not magic. I don't even know why would you even pass that as magic. And it makes me think, if Goku had come here and they didn't turn him into a child, if Goma, I think that if the Demon King from the third demon world hadn't had the intelligence of turning him into kids, imagine how much shit he would be wrecking. Because I'll get to it, but damn, Goku I don't know if his mentality is nerfed because he's a kid again. I don't know if his like mind kind of just starts going into kid mode, I guess. But it is interesting seeing this Pansy. I don't know why it's gonna be hard to color that. That just sounds off. It's cool seeing her use like I guess telekinesis, but being a more specialty as a mechanics, which once again, as I said, makes me think of Bulma. And we get to meet the king of this demon world, and it's like I said, Pansy is the princess of this demon world, and like I said, Goku just knows how to somehow get in high places with people, and it's funny. Before I get to the funny part about it, Dende being read a book and the king kind of being like, you gotta read it with spirit and fun because this Namekian will be the one to make us new Dragon Balls. It's like okay, like the way he's looking at Dende, it's obviously evil intent and yet it looks oddly wholesome. I don't know why, dude. It's just weird. I don't know why he's like, you gotta read him the book, right? It's like, dude, of all the things, why are you it sounds way too like you're being a genuine good king, I guess, to this child Namekian. Obviously, they kind of went, I guess, child mode. So it does kind of go with why Goku's kind of a bit of a dummy. But my God, Lee, I find it all over the place with this one. I don't know. That felt oddly wholesome. Like this episode was genuinely just wholesome, completely one-sided beatdown, and then wholesome. And then obviously back to the whole castle thing. The king kind of reveals why he needs Goku. Obviously he was skeptical at first, but after kind of getting a little bit confirmation from both Glorio and Shin that, nah, Goku's pretty strong. And think about that, okay, Glorio did brought someone who could defeat Majin Buu. He's like, once I become like the supreme Demon King ruler, you get to marry my daughter, which I'm like, oh my fucking God, imagine if Chichi was there. And I like that Goku's reaction is, oh, but I'm already married and I have 2 kids. And him and Pansy just freak out like, what? You're just a kid, is where you're from? Because they do reveal that to Pansy that he's from the outside world. They're both like, what? Does the outside world just have kid look-alike adults? And it's like, no, he just got turned into a kid. Like, it's just funny stuff. It makes me, like, think, again, OG Dragon Ball, just funny shenanigans and adventure. But one thing that definitely was interesting to see and a little bit satisfying is just seeing Goku wreck the ever-living shit out of just poor guards. They're like, you guards, you're gonna test Goku. If you can beat this kid, you all get raises, and you know that's one hell of a motivator. So, yeah, and for Goku, this is just training, and he absolutely wipes the floor out of them, making me once again think, if he was an adult, it would probably be even more one-sided. So, yeah, and then by the end of the episode, we obviously get them getting the ship, and also Pansy as part of the crew now. But one thing is that there were 3 different things that kind of come up in this final phase of the episode. The first one is that when it comes down to Glorio, Shin kind of noted that Glorio had told him that the king had sent him, but it looks like Glorio had approached the king on this matter. Like, it doesn't seem like the king kind of had Glorio be sent, or he didn't give like an indication. So there's something off about him. That's 1. 2, Pansy joining the group is obviously funny because, you know, she's more of a support. So fighting is not necessarily her best move. That and also the shit amount of bags she was bringing for like a not that big of a ship, which does screw them over because the ship crashes. Well, the engine gives out because it's too fucking heavy. She's like, oh, I guess there's too much luggage. It's like, no shit, Sherlock. But 3, the whole thing with the giant goldfish look-alike, it kind of needing a pin in order to let people into the demon realm. It makes sense to send someone out there. This weird looking, I think he said Majin. So yeah, sending this thing to at least get Vegeta, Piccolo, and Bulma is smart, because if they don't have a pin, then how the hell are they gonna enter the demon realm? So yeah, having someone to essentially fetch them is a bright move, and it connects to how they're gonna join in. Because I didn't mention about the whole pin thing in the previous episodes, but overall, yeah, I mean, it is a slow episode. I will not kind of doubt that, but the funny factor and all the shenanigans with Goku is still something I can't help but enjoy. Because, I mean, it's Goku, it's Dragon Ball, it's taking me back to... I mean, I watched OG Dragon Ball, like, later on, and my godly, that feels like a fever dream. But even then, it's enjoyable. Like, it's just adventure, and this whole thing has been adventure. So, I mean, I'll give it a solid 7.5 out of 10. Like, it's not bad. The funniness is definitely there. But, I mean, obviously, like, you know, it's building up to the plot, and I can't wait to see when we get to like the more serious fights. Though that's where I'm curious how they're gonna do. Otherwise, I'm pretty entertained. Like, I'm just completely entertained.